Hello everyone, and welcome back. Deer hunting is coming up right around the corner. I've got only one more weekend and it's not going to be spent here at home. It's going to be up at the tent with Zachary. So I need to get jerky made. I haven't made jerky for a couple of years for deer hunting because I haven't shot a deer. I do still have some venison jerky up there that's in jars, but yeah, you can't beat the beef. So this year I want to make jerky. I'm also going to make my own like trail mix with, you know, peanuts and chocolate and all, you know, all kind of stuff. And I want to cut little 1/4-inch pieces of jerky and throw in there too, which is something I've thought about for years and years and never done. And now this year I want to give it a try. But right now I have to do this. It's a work night. I've got to get all this done. So I'm going to get the meat cut up tonight, put into the brine so it can brine overnight, and then tomorrow afternoon when I get home from work I will put it in the smoker, run the whole smoke series, because you really only need to do the smoke you know, 3, 4, 5 hours, and then there's no reason to do it after that because none of the smoke is getting in anyway. It's only going to make the outside chalky. So if I can get it in and do that, then I can just leave it in the smoker and let it sit there and smoke at 90 to 100 degrees, even if it takes 2 days, and the jerky will be done. So the worst part is just get this all taken care of so we can make some jerky. Now this is not a how-to video at all. I've got videos on both channels of me making jerky. So this is simply, hey, I gotta get jerky done before deer hunting. I have a couple of these roasts that are kind of fatty. You really normally don't want this marbly fat in your jerky, but actually I love that jerky. It's the best jerky you could make. It just doesn't last forever. But the beef that I make never does. It goes right away. So these are going to be really good. I mean, it's no different than eating a steak that doesn't have any marbled fat in it versus one that does. There's just a difference. These pieces here I'll fry up in a fry pan later. These are perfect. They're still partially a little bit frozen. They cut up the best. Well, it's all cut up now. Now I just have to start making the brine in the glass bowls and get it in. This doesn't look like a whole lot of meat when you look at it when you think about jerky, but at the end of the day this will fill a lot of racks in the smoker. I went to get all my ingredients out and I open up the cupboard, and usually I have a few of these big soy sauces in there, and I had just bought some more Worcestershire because I always run out of that, and I had this much soy sauce. So now at 8:30 at night I had to run up to the store and buy soy sauce. I'm going to do a half a cup of soy sauce, half a cup of Worcestershire sauce. If you ever do this, don't double up the batch. I don't know why, it just does not seem to taste right. I've done it many times and it just isn't right. Half a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of onion powder, half a teaspoon of pepper, 2 teaspoons of accent, which is MSG, which isn't very good for you. You could do it without it. I've done it before. It tastes fine, but what MSG does is gives your food a savory taste and it actually makes you want to eat more. I don't eat that much jerky. I make this I haven't made it in a couple of years now, so you can add it or you don't have to add it, but I'm adding it this time. I read my directions wrong. It's supposed to be 2 teaspoons of the onion powder, not a half a teaspoon. Lucky this isn't a how-to video. I've been making the same jerky recipe for over 30 years. But I'll add 1.5 more. 1 teaspoon of liquid smoke. Now we're just going to mix it all up. When the kids were little, I'm talking in diapers yet even, and then up to maybe 5 or 6, they would love to sit on the counter and mix the jerky, the brine. Sarah especially, she would sit there and I don't know what she liked about it so much, but she really did. Once it's all mixed, you can add your meat in there. When you add your meat, you want to kind of mix it, make sure that that brine gets all around everything. And you can put a lot in here, but you got to make sure that it, when you do like this, like a mud pie, it comes up to the top. And then you just do it all over again. I'm just going to go ahead and do this because this is going to take probably, I don't know, 5 glass containers to do it. One of them, I bought this here, and you're just supposed to put burgers or steaks in there and marinate it. I'm going to try to put just a little bit of this jerky in this just to see what happens. It's always fun to do something different. Alright, once I get these all done, get some cling wrap on them or some tin foil or something, I'll come back. Okay everyone, well tomorrow we'll fire the old girl up. She hasn't been going in a while. Well, it's the next afternoon. I just got all the grates scrubbed up here. It's time to get that meat put on here and get it out in the smoker. Alright, well this is a very big batch of jerky. This is all I've got left, and I'm using even the extra. I have the 1 extra rack that I put on the very top. I've already filled that. So this, whatever you call it, this little experiment type here, I'm going to go ahead and just put that over on this far right side, just a couple pieces to try it. The rest will just go in a bag, and then I freeze it. And and then I'll do it next week because deer hunting isn't for another week, but I want to get this done before I leave to go up there this weekend. I'll just mark these so I remember which ones are which, because once they start smoking they all look the same. Well, I'm going to smoke this using apple, which is the stuff I just used the planer in there, the joiner, I guess would be the correct term, in the workshop, because I have some apple, and I'm also going to do it with maple, and I have these chips, but this stuff will smoke easier than the chips, so it's nice to put the smaller stuff down first, and then just load this baby up. Well, that'll start smoking in probably about 10 to 15 minutes. I'm going to keep a pretty steady smoke on this for probably 4 to 6 hours, somewhere in there. After that, everything will have filmed over and you're really not doing anything to add any smoke flavor to it. You're just getting the outside kind of chalky with soot. So anyway, this will be done probably by late tomorrow night. It'll all completely be finished. Some of it will be a lot earlier. Some of it always takes quite a long time. Well, I'm all done with the actual smoking part now, and now it's just letting it dry out. I do keep switching the racks around, because the bottom, of course, is hotter than the top. It's weird. It's like the bottom will get done and the top will get done, and the middle is the part that takes the longest. Anyway, now it's just a waiting game. I'm keeping it right between 95 and 105 degrees. It just kind of lingers right in that area. Well, good morning, everybody. This jerky's been in here a little over 18 hours now, and some of it is definitely done. When you check the jerky, you just grab it and you squeeze it, and if it's squishy at all, it's not done. I got all of it out of there except for that right there. So I've got probably about 1 jar of jerky still left on here, and that stuff there. Some of this is because it's some of that fattier stuff. Some of it's a little bit thicker. I'll just leave that on for probably another 5 or 6 hours. I did try a little taste of this new stuff that I tried, and it's okay. I mean, there's nothing wow about it. It's good, but it's not any better than this stuff right here. Once you get your jerky done like this, you're going to want to, I like to put it in jars. You can use Ziploc bags. It doesn't matter. Something that's airtight, because some of the jerky you're going to get like this one here. See how it'll crack? And others are going to be a little more moist and they're just going to bend. When you put them into the jar or any type of an airtight container, it's like if you have cookies that are super hard and you can put a piece of bread in the cookie jar or a sealed jar, and then it takes the moisture out of the bread and puts it into the cookies so you have soft cookies again. That's kind of how jerky is. By doing this, it evens everything out together so they'll all be the same, and actually after you let this sit for a while, the flavor gets better also. Well, I have the 4 jars right here. One of these I'm going to send down to Melissa. One of them is going to my dad's deer camp. 2 are going to go to our deer camp. I still want to make that trail mix, so some of this will go in there. I'll almost 2 jars right here, and another jar, a little more than a jar, out in the smoker. So maybe a jar and a half there too. So total, we would have had 7, almost 8 jars, more than likely. This though, I'm just going to put into a Ziploc because I'm going to be cutting some of this up for that trail mix, and some of this will get eaten. Okay everyone, well thanks a lot for watching. We now have beef jerky for deer camp. I'll see you guys on the next video.